Okay, so where does this go next? Well, in the very short term, where it goes next, and it's been kind of looming over our head now for a couple of lessons, we still need to address quotients if I want to take the derivative of a quotient of two functions. And that comes up in the next topic, topic 2.9. We'll learn what's called the quotient rule, and it's a specific rule very similar to what we learned today for the product rule. We also need to learn the derivatives for the remaining trig functions. We've looked at sine and cosine, but we still need to learn things like tangent, cotangent, secant, cosecant. And that comes up in topic 2.10, because what we'll actually do is we'll rewrite those functions as quotients, and then we'll use this particular property right there. So that's kind of the short term of where this is headed. And those are actually the last two lessons in Unit 2. But I want to give you this function and just kind of let it sit in your brain for a second. Let's consider f of x equal to the function x squared plus 3x raised to the fifth power. And the question is, how do we find f prime of x? And you might sit there and kind of look at that and say, okay, well, what do I understand about this function raised to the fifth power? I know that's x squared plus 3x times x squared plus 3x times x squared plus 3x, and do that 5 times, right? That's what it means to raise something to the fifth power. You can, in fact, apply the product rule that many times. It's a lot of work, and it's particularly nasty because remember, I could change this 5 to a 10, and I could make you do it just that many times over. So I have a function like this where I'm looking at it and saying, okay, do I want to write this out multiplied by itself 5 times and do the product rule that way? And the answer is no, not really. Well, what it happens to be, what f of x really is it's what we call a composite function. So f of x is a composite function. A composite function is a function that acts on another function. And in fact, what this is a composition of is it's a composition of the function x squared plus 3x, but that function is being raised to the fifth power. So it's a fifth power function being applied to the function x squared plus 3x. So it's a composition of two functions. And we actually have a special rule for those. We will cover the rule for composite functions. That actually is what we will focus on in Unit 3. In fact, it's the first topic of Unit 3. But we do have this idea where I could write it out 5 times. I really don't want to have to. And so we're going to look at how to take the derivatives of composite functions as well. And then we pretty much have a good idea of how to take derivatives moving forward in this class.